The year is 2030. That's less than 6 years from now. Consumers of mass media no longer care about Dragon Ball Z and Columbo reruns anymore. The news no longer covers fake events like it used to. Now it just shows clips of puppies getting eaten by alligators in Florida, the new capital of America. After Yellowstone blew up, getting rid of absolutely nothing of worth except Germa 985, billionaire playboy and philanthropist, dubbed the Prince of Gotham City. A city of corruption, crime after every corner, nighttime at 6:07 p.m., and lunchtime pushed to 7:30. Crooked cops, weird-ass criminals, and the enigmatic vigilante parkouring the rooftops. Almost like that one acclaimed video game series, Mirror's Edge. No, not that type of edge. Wait a minute, this is sounding like a script for the Batman Arkham games. Let me rewind back on track. The year is 2030, which is 5 years from now, and mass media has peaked. All the people who watch the television have died of botulism and a new mold-inherited disease called Rawlingism. The ratings are down, and they stopped making shit. Now, normal non-binaries, lesbians, and Republicans have to look forward to YouTube videos. Sadly, the price of YouTube videos are dependent on when they were uploaded. How does that work? Well, a new video for MrBeast 666 is like $75, while Cryotic's 2010 cult hit Cry Plays Amnesia: The Dark Descent Part 1 is only $5. Go ahead, do the math, it won't be accurate. How do these invalids get their slop now? Well, the answer was obvious. Money. In the year 2030, which is 4 years from now, opportunities for money making have broadened, but with the added cost of every job being lethal. There's a lethal company out there. Fast food? Don't even try fast food. Retail won't get you tail, homie. And you think you're safe in school? Well, they weren't that safe back then, so nothing's changed, really. Sorry about that. If you haven't noticed the trend of inoffensive jobs and activities become more mendacious as time rolled about, then utterly oblivious you have been to the toilsome history of esports. Long ago, in the ancient times of 1871, men used to play with their balls in large groups against another equally large mass. They called it sport, and every man did it. But as demand grew, so did the level of skill demanded to partake grew. So many opted to watch these orgiastic displays in large functions instead. So much so that hospitals were constructed around the fields of play to contain and maintain the meek and brassy alike. As new generations overhauled the erstwhile generation, a new sport hatched into existence, fleeced from a Bible to squash its however meager antecedents. Video games became the new trial for the young and wise alike. Back then, children were hardcore and expected to beat Takeshi's challenge, otherwise they would be aborted.
Murder your wife and children! Literally, murder your children! I think I need to repeat that. Literally, murder your children!
As video games increase in skill like sport once had, the generation saw a reiteration of binaries bending the knee to sit down in a collation of festival foods and celebration of watching another person press a couple buttons. The dangers of video games shall never subside and only maturate. Similarly, with sport, equipment was manufactured and issued. The same shall be done with video games. But is it the most baleful strive for wealth? The most dangerous job of them all pays not in banknotes or bank e-notes. It pays in fame, and adrenaline, and enemies. This job is a roller skater at the Rollerdrome, a blood sport arena that pits these aforementioned skaters in courses that can only be described as blenders with pistons in any dead spots, or described as Skyrim with guns. Set in the different biomes of Borderlands 2, Corporation, Desert, White Desert, and Tony Hawk. But there's something sinister regarding this program about sending athletes to kill a bunch of people, or get killed themselves. Shocker, right? Can you usurp this conspiracy? Who are you? Well, you are Kara Hasan, the up-and-coming roller star with the odds stacked heavily against her. because the Illuminati, the shadow government, and mad czars from the cold country probably hate women or chapstick. Kara Hasan, despite being a newbie in the league, had made a name for herself being a star in the amateur division. Not that kind of amateur. She has some sort of homosexual connection to the Rollerdrome champion, Morgan Frey, whom Hasan is a real fangirl over. But a cool fangirl, so it's like totally not weird. Women are gay. For some reason, when two hot girls are on screen, they must face mash like Barbie dolls. Those poor Barbie plastics were never asked their type, sexuality, let alone consent, before getting morbidly intimate with another piece of plastic and elastic. This action is called shipping, because as we all know, cannons sink ships. Yet certain operators of these vessels shall never scatter their lust towards the frore sea, and ships shall sail boarded with specters united in an stringent enemy. Ghosts are scary, so to prevent shippings being made, Hasan never interacts with her colleagues, much like you at work, and she one-ups you too. He never interacts with them even while she works. Unless you count shooting these flesh bags as being gregarious. Hasan has no time for chat. Hasan is dedicated. Hasan is on Grindr.
I got news for you. That means you're gay.
I err in my strange jokes about the protagonist's sexuality. Hasan is devoid of any sex appeal, much like another red character in media, and she's vacant in personality. But that's alright. Kara's moodism makes this game 12 times better than if she had said something like, "My goodness, what a strapping physique, capable of an astounding variety of acts of violence. Fuck off, I'm busy." Dick move. Bad comparison, on the grounds that this gerbil hasn't taken Kratos' role as a protagonist. Ragnarok and Rollerdrome share more similarities than their initial. They are contemporaries that were set upon the public in 2022, which is 8 years away from 2030, but as of this time, 2030 is 3 years from now. Regarding the release year for this review, we got many hard hitters and genre-defining video games, the best of which were the Callisto Protocol, High on Life,
dealing with them? Jesus Christ, who the fuck are you?
and the first and only Saints Row game. Yeah, the best of gaming. During that annual period of releases, why would you subjugate your time to Rollerdrome instead of these? The answer lies within the gameplay. After a tutorial, you are launched into your first match. The main populace in this stage are just Italians and Washingtonians, and you at this moment have the powers of 2 police officers. And you're on the clock, sister, so go make quota. To progress in these stages, you must clear the enemy masses in waves. But to keep momentum well-oiled, a wave will spawn when you have a couple volunteers left over from the precedent wave. And there you have accomplished victory in your first stage of this competition. Something 5% of the player base haven't done so after the tutorial. Maybe they'll be back, because I tried the first couple levels in February and April earlier this year, only to come back and beat it last month. How was it? It was very sweaty, and I was pretty moist. Let me explain the mechanics. Kara roller skates like a homicidal jet set radio, or bomb rush cyberpunk, what have you. Her movement is momentum, and you need to carry that momentum towards a wall if you want to stop. We've got ramps, pipes, railings, walls, and windows here at this department store of danger. Ramps, you fly over. Half pipes keep you contained while you're in the air. Railings are for grinding, you dirty slut. And walls are meant to be wall-ridden. Windows are breakable. Keeping these obstacles in mind, you must navigate the playing field to blast fools in their upper lip. When you do so, a combo meter starts to go up. Killing a fool makes your combo go up another number. While harming and doing tricks, fill the meter a little. You have to kill to rack up a combo. Getting hit yourself takes from the meter, and being slow is detrimental for many reasons, and losing the combo is one of them. And just like a member of the Clinton clan, the crazy Clinton clan, you need to kill to keep the audience engaged. Let's talk about the tricks. When you get some major, or minor, air, holding the square button while flicking the movement analog stick 1 or 2 directions will contort Kara into a sassy form. You can rotate Hasan for back or front flips, and by holding R1 you can rotate her in any direction. Alternate the button held with triangle and position Hasan next to an edge-like surface, and she'll perform a grind. Note that committing the same trick or grind will result in less points accumulated for the duration. Every stage starts with you rolling down a hall over a ramp, and usually you have enough air for your first trick, which will start the combo meter. And if you think shooting and doing tricks is hard, then you're not black. So you should calm down, because neither was the developer. They decided that the game should be fun instead of some subversive art piece about polyamorous marriages. Try to imagine if this game was developed by Naughty Dog in the 2020s. Although 2030 is still only 2 years from now, so there's still time. Roll 7, the developers, had a choice on which mechanic they should make more accessible, and they compromised with shooting. Now if that phrase sounded bad, then you've been watching too much Sopranos lately.
Instead, you see where I'm going?
Yeah.
Shooting was just made less complicated. When you are close enough to an adversary, a lock-on block will phase onto and turn this chump into chum. Kara literally has aimbot, and keeping that concealed is imperative to winning this competition. What else is on Kara Hasan's cheat engine? Ah, bullet time. Naturally, when the good lord whispers into your ear to execute a separatist, time shall flow slower. As seen here by this meter, and when the meter empties, you start aiming in real time, like an idiot who plays Max Payne 3 with the left trigger. Don't be a tool, just run and gun, skating. Skating is what you do in Rollerdrome. There is one little tiny extra thing about the game's bullet time. If you are able to dodge from an upcoming attack, you can enter Super Reflex, an even colder version of regular reflex. In this mode, her bullets do more damage. Why? Wait a minute. You have dodge rolls, reused boss fights, swords, and an ethnic that's not white woman protagonist. Was I playing a Souls-like this entire time? No, this is when I got suspicious and decided to look at the game's box. Oh, I don't have it. So I decided to get a copy delivered over the internet with Amazon's service. And I believe it was July or August. There's a knock on the door. I open it, and there's this cute little delivery boy. He was so adorable, with the wavy hair and all. And when I was going to pay him for that copy of Rollerdrome, I asked, well, how much will it be? He looked at me and says, I'll need about $3.50. $3.50. Well, it was about that time I noticed this delivery boy was 8 stories tall and was an unsightly beast from the Old Hunters expansion. I said, I ain't giving you no $3.50, you goddamn Ludwig the Holy Blade. Get your own goddamn money. Oh, sorry, I fucked up my combo. Now I have 2 paths. Take my cat of 9 tails, whip my back and restart the level, or kill everyone that witnessed my humiliation. Because the combo and score don't gatekeep you from the next stage. Kinda. When you complete a stage in the opening or quarter finals, you unlock the next one in that category. Until and after you beat the final stage in the tournament's match, you may find yourself sitting on your quirky arse, pressing down on the D-pad, expecting to start the next stage of the semifinals to no avail. This is when you must partake in the Olympic sport of reading. After a careful review of what's on the screen, you'll see that you have a number of challenges to complete before heading up in the competition. Simply surviving isn't good enough.
Here, Miss Wingrat. Help yourself.
Everyone knows that you're not supposed to drink seawater.
And neither's having a good score, to some degree. Challenges range from grabbing the 5 tokens in each stage, doing a specific trick by a marker, it'll tell you how to do the trick in the pause screen, some random shit, proliferating a combo to a set number, or keep a combo unremitted for the entire stage, and overtaking the score of some lesser colleague, a literal who if you don't bother to stare at the narrative portions of the game.
Being against it's against the law to be gay. Like,
I talked to a teenager from Yemen.
But there will always be a challenge to surmount Morgan Frey's score, the champion of Rollerdrome 2029. But that's not now. We compete forthwith in 2030, which is 1 year from now. And Morgan Frey dies off screen. It's revealed in a later narration stage as a header for a newspaper. What the hell's a newspaper? It's the news on paper. Apparently, she slipped and fell down the storehouse steps. People are such fragile things, Leia. But not Kara Hasan. Bitch could take a rocket to the chest and still take down the Citadel. As you progress, you unlock a shotgun, a grenade launcher, and a Tesla cannon. I like the Tesla cannon the most. Each weapon can most definitely kill, but certain weapons are more proficient in killing certain foes. In order, the twin pistols. They are very versatile, mainly if you have a full clip, and it's also satisfying. This is an aside, but hell, the little reason that got me to play Persona 5 was watching the protagonist unload an entire magazine into a deer-looking creature. The pistols also have surprising reach, which can momentarily delay the rocket and laser guys. It's also good for clearing missiles off your strawberry ass. But the pelts you shoot are impotent against a flamethrower mechs, unless you are shooting in ultra reflex mode. The shotgun, hands down, thank you. It's the best weapon on the basis that it can hurt every enemy. It has a slug shot mechanic. Go into reflex and see this Undertale attack meter? Yeah, that's how you use it. Being patient will reward you by increasing the normal damage of the shotgun, making it possible to one-tap these mad batters, and the shotty is the best way of taking out the riot shield dudes. The grenade launcher is kinda just for flair. Best used on meteor enemies, more specifically the flamer mechs. My advice is to use it when you see the opposition start to bunch up, however rare that is.
It'll clear out a room of militant college students in no time, guaranteed.
You can launch yourself a la Team Fortress 2 Soldier, but the grenade launcher is completely overshadowed by the Tesla cannon. I've always liked these Temu toaster ovens in games. This one acts like a sniper. To fire it, you have to charge. And holy shit, it's still charging. It could only be charged for 2 shots, which is enough to one-shot most of the earlier introduced enemies, as well as the laser guy in Ultra Reflex. But along with the grenade launcher, its ammo capacity is low, and I haven't told you how you reload or get ammo yet. Remember what I said about doing tricks, grinding, and dodging? That's how you get ammo. How? Ammo and points are the main incentive to do tricks and to style on these. Are these holograms? Is it all just special effects? Of course it is, dumbass. It's a video game. Dancing and prancing around the job site, skirting danger, and bolting soon-to-be cadavers is fun. But is this fun game all fun in games? My criticisms. The challenges don't require you to finish a level to check them off. In actuality, it prevents a lupin amount of the grindiness from trying to 100% this bad girl, but it's still a grind. There are certain stages with out-of-bounds capabilities. When you fall out, you take 10 damage all the way until you have 10 health left. Then you only take 5 damage, singular. You no longer start taking fall damage when you're that low. Which I beg to question, why even have fall damage if that doesn't kill you directly? It's really just punishment for the next time you take damage. And my last bit is on select stages, there are pieces of the course that can only be accessed in specific sequences, which if not done semi-perfect, will throw you off track and if you're unlucky, out of bounds sometimes. You don't need instructions for the entry of these pathways, just a little trial and error until you understand the right inputs. But doing so may tempt you to forego your run in favor of troubleshooting. And those are my critiques. Any other is a skill issue and you're gay, sneed, cope, ratio, go fuck yourself. You are not the father. I think you should play Rollerdrome because of how exciting it is to overcome each stage, each enemy, each rank, each motherfucker. Despite this game being one of the publisher's few hit titles, the other being Ollie, a 2D skating game, less than half of the total Steam player base made it to the semifinals. And I think I know why. They finished the quarterfinals and saw that there was a criteria for challenges to have been beaten. And they thought, oh well, it's been a couple hours, I'll finish this game later. And that notion slipped their minds because They wanted to play Dustborn or some shit.
What the fuck does that even mean? You are racist.
That's completely irresponsible. If Rollerdrome was their baby, that bitch would drown. But Rollerdrome is not their baby. It is the child of Roll 7, published by Private Division. Roll 7 was founded in 2008 by two best friends and some other people, and they started by developing mobile games. Most notably, one's aimed at children with ADHD. But these crap games had made Roll 7 hunger for more ambitious projects.
Personally, I think it's about bloody time they brought them out.
In 2012, they began working on prototypes worthy of more traditional gaming platform fame. After some pitching, they were able to release awhile on the PlayStation cell phone, the Vita, which won a BAFTA, a British award for film and television, for the best sports game of that year. Fuck you, Madden! Fuck you, Cricket! They released Gets to the Exit. It stunk. And later, in 2015, Roll 7 had a deal with Devolver Digital for an awhile sequel, Welcome to Ollie World. And the Ollie games did well. Fast forward to 2018, Roll 7 with Private Division announced Rollerdrome, which would release 2022 to the PlayStation and PC, and Rollerdrome would then get nominated and win another BAFTA award for the studio. Rollerdrome seems to be the game that the studio have always wanted to make. A couple of years back, they made a prototype Flash game, and as you can see, it's pretty brutal. It's very stripped down to a basic form of a video game. Your only inputs in this game is to move and to shoot. This is what retro players love. Less pixels. Earlier this year, Take-Two Interactive, the suits suckling the cow that is GTA Online, were accused of planning to shut down the award-winning Roll 7 studio. After the backlash, they omitted a statement saying they weren't going to close the studio. Instead, they set out rounds of layoffs to 5% of their staff, which virtually replaced the original developers from Roll 7. All much so that one of the devs on Twitter advocated that if anyone wanted to play Rollerdrome, they should pirate it, since all purchases will go now towards Take-Two. Apparently they needed money to change their logo to Take Everything. Take all. Take the kids in the house in the divorce, and euthanize the dog too because it's imprinted on the original owner too much. These are some ideas floating around. Hey, Carl Slatoff, my email's up your ass. Don't strain your eyes looking so hard. And your name rhymes with fuck off, so yeah. It's really ironic that a game about a blood sport entertainment owned by a predative corporation got predated by their own corporation, but I guess it was to be expected. The best lesson learned from this debacle is keep indie, otherwise you'll get stabbed in the back, front, side, Gucci. I don't know what a Gucci is, but you'll get stabbed there. The power of friendship can't protect you from a soulless rich corporation.
Help me! I'm not gonna make it!
But the unfortunate side about it is how difficult it is for an indie company to make a name for itself without any resources or ties. So this exact same tragedy will happen more or less again, whether it's today, tomorrow, or 2030, which was 1 year ago. Rollerdrome is a slightly longer than short game. You can beat it in 5 hours if you're on a roll. After the main campaign, you will unlock the Back for Blood mode, which is the Rollerdrome 2031 Championships. It's the whole game, once over, except that enemies hit harder, and I think it said they spawn in all at once. But I swear, it's just the wave system again, maybe faster. Doing this mode will bump your playtime to 8 to 9 hours. And you don't need to beat challenges to progress to the next set of finals. Every stage's challenges were reduced to 3, and they're all identical. And you do get this chic black jumpsuit. If you have the game already, I encourage you to play it. This game is perfect for an afternoon, even if you don't care to beat every level in one go. If you want the game, it's locked at $30 on Steam. With sales, it's reduced to $10. But as mentioned before, the money goes to some GTA Online devs' naptime fees. So go ahead and get it any means necessary. I am proud to say I did purchase this game before the layoffs on sale. So some of that Hamilton probably went to the OG devs. Don't worry about these other games. Anyway, this is Skins saying, once you get to the top, you will realize it was a tree this entire time. And those are fun to climb.
Thank you for watching.
If you want more of me, you know where to find me. Also, happy Halloween. I know this game's not scary, but happy Halloween.
You know that, Hasan? I'm coming to kill you! In Los Angeles, at your house!
Hasan Biker, I'm coming for you, lad, and you can't avoid it. You will face me in the ring to the death, or in the streets of LA, where I'll be stalking you and obsessed with you.
That Hasan Biker, I'm going to get my hands on him, and I win on it.
Fucking Hasan.
This guy leaves.
Why is he dunking you, dude? I don't know. I think he's, I mean, he looks bigger than me, but I think that's because he has a small head. Is he tall?
Hasan